Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this unshaven day. Hokey smokes. I need to trim down very, very badly. I'd like to keep myself looking a little better than this, and oy vey. Anyway, thumbs up. And welcome to another daily Shelton, Washington weather, plague, rat, and spider report. For the weather, still just warm and dry. It continues to be that way, except there's still dew marks and such, because when I go walking on the train tracks, as I do every single day now, they're wet down there, and sometimes there's even water puddles around there. So I don't know what's happening around the train tracks that way, but it's been dry otherwise. Thumbs up. Very warm. I mean, I don't wear any more than just shirts like this when I go out, even at night. So, warm. Plague rat report. Part of this is I had seen this morning that President Trump had tweeted that he and the First Lady have tested positive for it, but that's... Well, now I gotta zip that out. The Covfefe bug. So it's 1 minute and 30 some odd seconds. I gotta remember to edit that well. But they've tested positive for the Covfefe bug. So the thing is, I've only heard about it from a tweet. And this is from a man where if he says the sun is out, I'm gonna go out and check to make sure the sun isn't actually gone. So I'm going to go check. If he says, everything is fine, the sun is shining, I'm going to make sure it's not midnight and there's not war. So it's just him saying this. Yeah, I'm going to wait until there's something official. And even at that, as somebody pointed out, oh, how convenient that the Covfefe bug has got him so he can't go out in public and talk for the next 2 weeks after the disastrous debate. It only plays into his hands. So, that's the plague rat story. Now for the spider report. In my little office here. There is a spider. I have you see my two bookcases directly behind me. In the space between them, there is a spider. So there's a spider back there. I don't know what's going on with the spider above the window. I don't know if it's the same one. It was that big fat-bodied spider before. But now I can see a spider in a web up there, but it doesn't look like the same one, so maybe there's been drama. I'm not sure. Now, over next to the box fan, that spider is still the same one, and she's in her web. And then over in the corner, that spider over there, I believe it is still the same one, and she seems to be doing well as well. So, thumbs up on that. It's less lonely since I don't have any hamsters right now. Kitty's still alive, and she sleeps with me on my bed now, so it's good. Not so lonely. It's just she's gotten older, really, really old and bony, so yay. But life is life. I mean, life is life. Yeah, life is life. There was one thing, though, I've been meaning to talk about and haven't talked about, and it's older now, and I can't find the picture. I think it is I can't tell you who the artist is. I can't tell you what the particular, it looks like it's from a manga, and so it would likely be some Japanese artist. It looks like it's the same sort of stuff that there's this one artist who tells very disturbing stories, like Junji Ito. Oh my gosh, if you've ever seen anything by this person, it is extremely disturbing. So look up for this stuff. But there was no artist name, and it was just a panel, and I can't find the panel anymore by doing a Google search. But it summed up for me so well the viewpoints of the characters that are involved in cosmic horror. Because generally, characters in cosmic horror lose their minds when we're presented with stuff that we can't understand. Because I've mentioned, that you can boil down cosmic horror into, beings, objects, locations, or situations that are incomprehensible, that are doing something or simply existing in a fashion that is unknowable, with little or no regard for human life or safety. That doesn't mean you're safe if you aren't physically killed by it, because our minds are set for our world we grew up in as well. So there's things that we can't know that if we do, we break. And I understand that makes sense. Our brains, our minds, we evolved for this world, this situation, this stuff. So if there are things that normally we cannot see because we do not have the senses and thus have no comprehension of them, no way to deal with them, if we are forced to understand them, I can understand that we will break. That does make sense. So, when you have cosmic horror stories, basically the people that are involved lose their minds and thus are gone from the story because they're insane. But everything is a matter of perspective. And there are different paths to take to get to the same destination. I've been thinking about this, and I look at it as differences in preparation. Like if a bomb goes off, if a nuclear bomb goes off, there's a difference between the person who throws open the front door and then the bomb goes off, and the person who's got the proper money, equipment, training for the equipment, so when the bomb goes off, they're behind shielding in hermetically sealed suits with an oxygen supply, and when it goes off, they're protected. When they stand up, there's still the devastation. They're still there, but they're more prepared for what's going to happen. So, destination may be the same. The characters lost their mind in our perspectives, and thus is now an NPC and is out of the story. But from the point of view of the character, that's the difference between throwing up on the door and BAM! What a lot of the characters in these cosmic horror stories have happened to them is there is no way to prepare. They are effectively having that happen just by existing within the framework of the story. They've opened up the front door to one of those bombs that we dropped in World War II going off down the block. Now, there's no guarantee that you can make it to that point in safety if you try, because you're still out of the story as an NPC. But this one panel that I saw summed everything up so perfectly, and it's mostly an understanding of my own head on this one, but it was a person that was effectively saying, I understand it now. It all makes sense. But they were from the perspective of someone who was wearing all that stuff, still standing in the middle of the devastation of the bomb, but they're still alive, they're protected, they're able to deal with it. They're still NPCs and gone, but there's different way of getting there. Because in the story, the person saying, I understand now, their body had, who knows if it had actually changed? Was it just perception? Because we're not at that stage, where the legs of this person were just a series of stacked doll heads, coming up to an articulated Barbie doll-like body, arms that ended in 2 chainsaws, and just like a doll-like head. And the person's there saying, I understand now. It makes sense. And it would. It makes sense to them. They're at that stage where what they see is just, all I did was I put on a suit and I went down to Arby's and I bought a hamburger. But for us, they're way gone. They're far gone. So when I write my stories of cosmic horror stuff, or I tell you about stories of my cosmic horror stuff, and I talk about these individuals who walk upon a particular path of power and become, because I mentioned, there's power levels, that we are the Gokura, the numberless, the prey. And then you become, Gakire and Gakiri, Gakiru, and then there above that is the Gakira with Amaterasu, the top prime cosmic horror, the most powerful. But you can walk those paths of power and become a being. You become an NPC when you're doing that, because to you see it clearly and it makes perfect sense. But you've also got the 4 legs made out of stacked doll heads. Your arms end in chainsaws. Yeah, it makes sense to you. So, thumbs up on that. I do have some other things written down. One of them is kind of sad. I watch animal rescue channels, and there's one channel where there has been a very, very old bat. Most wild bats of this bat species only live to about 26 or so years old. This bat, Walter, is about 33. Way too old to fly, and so they treat him as best he can, give him his best life as possible. They hold him in their hands, and they'll walk him down a hall, and he'll flap as they carry him so that he's not actually flying, but it feels like he is. He's got congestive heart failure, so he's been on heart medication. And I may cry, because he's probably gone by this time. His congestive heart failure has been worse, and he's likely been euthanized so that he doesn't suffer. So it's sad that way. And yeah, with the loss of my pets, with the loss of my wife, with the estrangement from the rest of my family, and all this, with everything happening in the world, yeah, an old bat with congestive heart failure, I'm crying because it's sad. Thumbs up for that. Just had to mention it though, because like I say, I watch these things and I just talk about everything that affects me. Like I was talking with my therapist yesterday about everything that's happening and such, and he is stressing that yes, don't worry and fixate on the losses that we're all having right now, because these are very hard times. And my eyes just, I have to get the tears with tissue because I have skin oils that make my eyes hurt, so yay. But he's stressed that don't fixate on what you're losing through all this, fixate on how far you've come. And it's true. I mean, it's like I've come about 10,000 steps from where I was just 3 years back. So if I've lost 100 steps, I'm still quite a few ahead. Thumbs up on that. As are we all. So practice your self-care. Definitely a thumbs up on that. And then let's see. Oh, there is one thing that I do want to write a really dumb story about. There was somebody who wrote a post that said, you know, sharks can outswim you, but you can outrun a shark. So when it comes down to the triathlon, it depends on which one of you is the better cyclist. My stupid idea on this is, after reading this dumb post, is like 20 years later, after this post, after this thing going on, the security guard at an apartment complex hears the sound of screaming, terrible carnage, runs up, calls for help, and as they arrive, there's this shark person that's eating a guy. And but when they see that, it's like, oh, don't, it's just a shark eating someone. And they're like, oh, okay. And everyone stops panicking because, hey, at least they know what it is. And turns out that was the shark. There was the triathlon. This guy, he did the triathlon, and the shark actually won the cycling thing. And so after 20 years of tracking him down, you know, the guy outran him, yeah, but the shark outswam him and then outcycled him. So after 20 years, he finally got to eat him. So, and since there's an apartment that just opened up in the complex, they offer it to the shark, so thumbs up on that. Anyway, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce a username, I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that. And even though I count American Sign Language with my depression, fibro, and more, I get lost really, really easily. So if I forget, my apologies. METIN KEKW, thumbs up and thank you. Jenkins24, greatly appreciated. Mandrake H, thumbs up. Maitreya Penkar, thumbs up. Tommy Nilsson, greatly appreciated. We have undiagnosed illness. And then there is denial, greatly appreciated. Confused Owl 29, thumbs up. Alexis H, greatly appreciated. Me in a pickle jar, thumbs up on that. Andrew Grants, how about that? We have Kobe, greatly appreciated. 3 HNIC, greatly appreciated. IIRARSKII, thumbs up and thank you. Bo Litzen, greatly appreciated. Jack the Ripper, thumbs up. Not Slavic, how about that? And then Metal Guitarist, you are absolutely 100% correct. There is Elderwolf 569, thumbs up and thank you. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Brutish Wing 2.0, thumbs up. Enos M, greatly appreciated. Rule Empire, thumbs up and thank you. There is Made in Canada, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And last but not least, Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. Each and every one of you, you get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. That is definitely appreciated, especially during these very hard times right now. Thumbs up for that. If you could check out my various things, I have Twitter, Facebook, I need to fix my GoFundMe, and Patreon.com. If you could help me out by becoming a Patreon.com patron, and after I fix it, donating it to my new GoFundMe campaign. But until that time, becoming a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money to that place, there's a PayPal link down below. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money, I have an Amazon wish list link as well, with things like hamster bedding, cat food. I have silly things, not silly things on there. If you could check it out, that'd be awesome. But do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate, or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart, where I draw interest. So thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. Hopefully I remember to put a please subscribe to the channel thing at the front of the video. Yay! Hopefully your day is going well. Hopefully it will continue to go well. That is a very good thing. So, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And of course, please wear a mask. Please. It's a global pandemic. Please. Practice your social distancing. Again, it's a global pandemic. It's a good idea. Practice your self-care. Very hard times, and we all need as much help as we can get. And of course, Black Lives Matter. And justice for everybody that the jackbooted, brown-shirted fascist thugs keep brutalizing and murdering in American streets.